Extra, extra, read all about it. Welcome to the Empire's Recap, and today we will be going over the chaos and drama of our somewhat respected rulers. This week, a monumental historical artifact once again sees the light of day, and along with it comes a power that can do what no other has done before. Make all the rulers listen to someone. Pixel Riffs is learning the hard way that cliffing is just as grindy as caving can be. The terraforming work has given him time to think about where Ren's things might be, and he realizes he forgot an obvious place, where Rendog woke up. Checking past the portrait and its now withered daffodils, he looks in the king's grave, and nothing is there, but something is behind the mural. A crown. Not just any crown, the crown, one historians and Season 1 enjoyers alike will recognize. Well, Pix is just a historian, but a touch of power won't hurt, right?
Sometimes you've got to embrace these opportunities as they arise, you know? Sometimes you gotta be king for a day.
Pixel Riffs brings the crown to the opening of Whip's new spawn build, and even the emperors who don't recognize the crown understand its power very quickly.
I can set a rule for the empires, judging by historical precedent. I can set a rule if I'm wearing this crown, and you all have to follow it.
While there's a bit of unrest about anyone claiming authority, Pixel Riffs uses the power for a mild good. All he wants is one thing of historical significance from each empire to put in the museum. Mementos of the present to go with those of the past. The reactions are more positive than not, and it's not like anyone besides Pix would be trusted with the power anyways, though he's going to be holding on to that totem for a while. A crown alone does not a king make though, he also needs a castle. And Pix has been hard at work constructing the foundational blueprint of a massive castle on the custom cliff, walking us around the planned layout of buildings, courtyards, and rivers flowing into the ancient capital. The underside of the cliff is not filled in, leaving room for dungeons, or perhaps something more mystical. We only hope that Pix's love of Elden Ring stops before he brings in a poison swamp. We already have the Evermore. The first few crown-demanded donations arrive, the last revealing potion from Stratos, Anchovy's preserved cod snack from Animalia, and the Shield of Sanctuary from, well, Sanctuary. The king is pleased. He's also happy the server's recent update now allows for a lay duplication, and a few amethyst shards later, the king has helpers, enough to start lending out to some of his subjects perhaps. The museum is getting a little cramped inside, so rather than making an upstairs gallery, Pix moves Ollie's house again, placing it outside next to Cubfan's skulkified head. In its place goes a display for all of the Empire's precious items, as well as one for Rendog's giblets, once he can find whoever has the last two. Long live the king! From kings to gods, Joel's sugarcane farm isn't quite meeting his needs anymore, especially with multiple borrowers also sharing its output. He plans to build a new one to fill the empty spot on the main bridge of Stratos, but he only finishes the collection building below before being called to spawn by Whip. He leaves spawn after hearing about Pix's decree as the holder of the crown, and after going through his chests for a worthy donation, settles upon a bottle of the revealing potion. He delivers it to the ancient capital, along with an explosive surprise, just to spice things up a little. Joel returns to Stratos to finish his sugarcane farm, which collects the output in a hopper minecart and drops it into the storage building down on the ground, just because. While he's been building, Whip has left him with a business proposal. Join the Animalia Goblin Alliance for firework rocket production by supplying them with sugarcane, and they'll deliver him gunpowder. The delivery location is too far from his new farm though, so Joel leaves it to Whip to figure out how to connect the two. Next, Joel unveils his plans for the interior of the Mega Palace, now dubbed the Big Boy, and builds the central platform. Wait, is that lore I hear?
Oh, that was crazy. A lightning bolt has appeared in the center out of nowhere. Who would have built that? And what's this? A trident? No. For me? Give me. And it's got the same name as my bow because someone forgot to change it. Whoa, lore.
Forget lore! Something is wrong in Critter City! All the animals are too afraid to leave their houses. Lizzie receives a note from the weird plant that thanks her for her help previously, and asks for a seafood banquet. In return, the mysterious entity says it will help her corral all her villagers. As typical Lizzie fashion, she ignores it and moves the villagers herself. The next day, she finds out that all the villagers have now swapped districts, and it's the note that caused it. She decides to go to the now full-grown plant to see what she has to do exactly to end this curse.
Live salmon? May I just say, you have wonderful taste in food, but terrible spelling. Ow! Oh my gosh!
Everything goes well.
Ah! Oh god! This is why I don't go in the water.
Until she has to offer a live squid. She transports one from Glimmergrove to the coast near the plant, but the trickiest part is the land, needing to flood it to keep the squid alive. Finally putting it in the cage, the final item on the list is an Elder Guardian head? She takes some of her gunpowder supplies for TNT, then hops over to the Evermore to do some potion brewing, which goes surprisingly well.
Wait, that's not Nether what? I know what I'm doing. I am perfectly qualified for this.
The fight with the Guardian has some complications, but Lizzie manages to kill it and go back to the plant safe and sound. She has a meeting to attend at spawn, and when arriving, all the other rulers are here except False and Pix. As Whip is showcasing the new spawn build, Pix arrives and Pix has the crown! He demands a piece of historical importance from each empire as his new rule. While searching for one, Lizzie sees that all the villagers are back to normal. Sadly, she can't put them in a museum.
And you can't put those in a museum. Trust me, I've tried.
So instead, she settles on the piece of cod Anchovy has been holding since the beginning of the Critter Council. Hope it's not too moldy.
Speaking of critters, a new Fae has appeared in Tumbletown and sent our sheriff on a quest. Jimmy had wanted the Fae plant in order to be granted a wish. His quest was successful, and in return, he was granted wings. A visit from a god sparks another new addition to Tumbletown. A great big portrait of the two best buds. Joel and Jimmy are very impressed by the piece of art. Luckily, Jimmy declares the gorgeous best buds piece as a historical artifact that must be protected by Pixel Riffs and his museum.
You can kind of see the scale of it because I don't think the scale really shows until you're about here, to be honest.
They're stretching!
It's about 100 blocks wide, 120 something tall.
Oh my gosh.
Just a couple of best buds.
The sheriff also went on a spying adventure to find out whether Flip and Lizzie have built a new gunpowder farm to replace his own experts. Seeing as nobody was buying from Jimmy anymore, he had reason to suspect the worst. First to Gobland, where Flip is talking about making rockets, then to Animalia, where suspicions were confirmed. Our less than sneaky sheriff is then caught by Lizzie and Flip, and all emperors decide to confront each other in a battle over their rights to trade gunpowder. Since Jimmy is in his villain arc, he steals gunpowder, kills an Animalian bat villager, and heads off to discover the new game introduced by Pixel Riffs. The new game involves a crown, which the empires can fight for so they can implement a rule everyone must follow. Jimmy wants that crown so everyone is forced to respect him. Maybe the sheriff's villain arc will be completed.
Pix! You're having a bubble bath, aren't you? It's not having any of my stuff. Already took down the wall. That was an artifact. What did he want me to do? Pick up the wall and give it to him?
With several murders under her belt now, including one of the law, Shelby is having a bit of a moral quandary, and Jem leaving a gift on her doorstep just makes her feel worse about matters. She can't exactly make the urge to murder go away, so she resolves to ignore it for now and do some chores around the Evermore, which haunts her with creepy noises.
Is it in here? Hello? Ah! Is it another ghost? Because I have had enough ghost activities around here.
She receives a book from these mysterious entities directing her to the Eversea, and she gets there eventually. Let's not talk about her bad navigational skills. The plant seems to be asking for some axolotls, and boating over to Sanctuary she meets Sausage. He's strange as always, looking for himself or something. They spend some time in the tavern chatting about demons, when Shelby asks if they could send some demons to the Witches' Academy. He's ecstatic.
Are they gone?
It just begun.
Oh.
That's one witch dead.
Dead?
No, it's relax. So many witches down right there. This is so great.
Back on track, Shelby gathers up the axolotls she needs for whatever mysterious creature requires them, before being surprised by Sausage. Again. The realization soon dawns on her that the sausage she's talking to now and the other sausage from earlier are really not the same guy. At least evil Sausage likes her, though that's mainly concerning more so than reassuring.
Are you okay? What's going on? What are you over here for?
think someone's looking for you.
Oh, yeah, it's my demon alter ego. I forgot to tell you about him.
You
He came from another
forgot?
realm.
Delivering all the axolotls to the entity in the embassy, she's gifted plenty of small drip leaf. Unfortunately, the axolotls were not there as pets, they were there as food.
You can't burp like that and then cute giggle right after.
She flies away quickly before she becomes something's next meal, and the second she sets foot in the Evermore again, she's accosted by some shady business people, namely Lizzie and Whip.
But do you have
Are we
rockets?
talking like goods for goods?
Yeah, goods for goods. You got rockets to spare?
You know, we
I'm
just
a little-
got a massive shipment of gunpowder in from Troubletown.
Official sources.
Official sources.
The two are looking for some blaze rods to help with their totally legal endeavours, and they deliver several stacks of legally sourced gunpowder in return. Plausible deniability, right?
You know what? Yeah, just as far as the sheriff knows, it's legit.
I am involved in more illegal activities. This is just great. I can't come back from this. What's a little bit more crime?
The Emperors are soon called to a meeting at Spawn, with Whip to declare a new spawn area and for Pix to become king of the server, apparently. This new king demands for historical artifacts to be displayed in the ancient capital museum, which is very much a rule written by the British Museum. Several days pass since then, and Shelby is working on a tower for her nether portal, when another one of those mysterious notes appear to her. Several heads on stakes have appeared around the village, which only makes this more concerning. These entities wanted to collect evidence of various magic forms from around her friends, spying on them.
Please collect the following intelligence and return it here to the island. Cartographic? Evidence of the cursed lands of Glimmer Grove. A report on the Skulk spread in Critter City, Animalia. I didn't even know they still had Skulk over there. A psychological analysis of the disturbing behavior of the ruler of Sanctuary. Investigate the magical anomalies detected in the Nether Gold Farm. Please keep your findings secret and store them securely in an ender chest and await further instructions. Well, now they want me to spy on all my friends? Well, I don't know. I don't know if this is so good. I don't know if any of this is such a good idea anymore. Maybe I need to ask for help.
And with that, join us next week for more chaos and shenanigans. Thank you for watching, liking and subscribing, and thanks to everyone helping out with the project. Check them all out down below.